cabin familiarization for a cabin crew. Introduction to the module. This module familiarizes the learner with the looks and setup of the passenger cabin of an aircraft and introduces him to various types of equipment used by the cabin crew for passenger service during a flight. Topics to be covered in this module are: the aisle, air conditioning and pressurization, cabin doors, passenger seats, the passenger service unit, PSU, the hat racks, the placards, the toilets, the galleys, cabin crew stations. Additional amenities available at the cabin crew in charge's station. The aisle. This is the passage or the thoroughfare through which every location in the cabin could be reached. Normally, small to medium-sized aircraft, with medium passenger capacity, have one aisle, but the larger wide-bodied aircraft, with high passenger capacity, have two such aisles. The two aisles system usually provides the passengers a facility of crossing just a single seat to reach one of the aisles. This system also helps the cabin crew to serve the passengers quicker, as more number of cabin crew could then perform the service. Air conditioning and pressurization. Modern aircraft fly at a high altitude for the reason that the density of air decreases with the increase of altitude, and thereby the aircraft experience less obstruction from the air, which results in less fuel consumption. However, this rarefied air contains very less quantity of oxygen, quite inadequate for the survival of human beings. To counteract this deficiency of oxygen density, atmospheric air, thus oxygen, is pumped inside the passenger cabin. This procedure is known as pressurization of the cabin. Again, the atmospheric temperature decreases with the increase of altitude, and for passenger comfort, it becomes essential to heat up or air condition the cabin. This air conditioning is done by suitably adjusting the temperature of the air that is pumped inside the cabin for pressurizing it. To suit this purpose, hot air is derived from the afterburner of the engines and the cool air from the atmosphere. This mixed air is then passed through a drying chamber to segregate the water particles present in it, in other words, demoisturizing it. The mixture of hot and cold air freed from the presence of moisture is known as conditioned air. The conditioned air is then pumped in the cabin through the inlets located above the hat racks. Cabin doors. It is obvious that the passenger cabin of the aircraft will have doors for normal embarkation and disembarkation of the passengers. Furthermore, these doors are used to evacuate the passengers in emergency situations. For utilizing the same doors in both the conditions, viz., in normal and in emergency condition, the doors are subjected through a transforming procedure by the cabin crew. This transforming process is known as arming-disarming of slides. It may be understood that there could be certain doors in the cabin which might not be required to be utilized in normal circumstances, but certainly have to be resorted to in emergency situations. Cabin doors consist of various components. The components, their functions and utilities are cited hereunder. Door control handle. This is a large handle, positioned precisely in the middle of the door, and is to be operated to lock the door in close position, or to unlock the door while opening it. Please understand that it simply operates the door mechanism, to lock or unlock the door. Door assist handle. There are two such handles on either side of the door control handle. The left one is for opening the door after unlocking it. This is located on the left edge, and a little above the mid-height of the door. The right-hand one is to bring the door from its open position to the position for locking it with the help of the door control handle. This is located on the right edge of the door and is slightly below the mid-height of the door. Closing and locking and unlocking and opening of the doors. It should be clearly grasped that for closing the doors, they are to be first pulled from the open position to the close position with the help of the door assist handle and locked thereafter with the help of the door control handle. For opening the doors, they are to be first unlocked with the help of the door control handle and to be pushed out thereafter with the help of the door assist handle to the fully open position. Escape chute or slide pack. In all modern aircraft, where the cabin floor is considerably high from the ground, one such pack is mounted towards the cabin side of the door in the vicinity of the cabin floor. These are required for evacuating passengers in emergency situations, where normal disembarking facilities like stairs etc. are not available. The girth bar. The girth bar is a metal bar attached to one end of the chute, which enables to connect that end of the chute with the cabin floor. On emergency opening of any door, the girth bar stays integrated to the cabin floor, meaning the girth bar side of the chute remains attached to the cabin floor. The chute remains armed then. When the door is opened in this condition, the girth bar side of chute remaining attached to the floor, the chute comes out of its cover and hangs out of the cabin. Again, while such a happening takes place, the chute inflates simultaneously by the inrush of air from a built-in charging cylinder, activated by the opening of the door. This process converts the chute to slide. Arming or disarming lever. This lever has two positions and could be slid from one position to another. This lever is moved from its disarm position to arm position for arming the chute, or slide mounted on the door. The reverse action disarms the chute. This lever is located nearly at the middle of the aircraft door inside a box or a boxed groove. Safety pin of the arming or disarming lever. This protruding pin restricts the movement of the aforementioned arming-disarming lever. The original position of the safety pin is in between the two extreme ends through which the arming or disarming lever travels, and quite adjacent to its disarm position. When the door is in disarm condition, the safety pin stays at its original position and prevents an accidental sliding of the lever to arm position, preventing an unwanted arming of the chute. The safety pin has to be pulled out to arm the chute or slide. The guest lock. Every door has one such lock that holds the door in full open position and prevents its slamming shut by the blowing wind. This button or small lever is to be depressed to enable to move the door from its full open position to initiate its closing.